Once upon a time, there lived a naughty little gingerbread lady. She lived alone in a little gingerbread house with her 4 fat cats. They engaged in pointless, passive-aggressive, territorial disputes that accomplished nothing, while Ginger found them to be highly entertaining, as evidenced by the 643 pictures of them in her phone. Something was missing in her life. One day, she thought it might be nice to bake herself a friend. Ginger had all the ingredients to make a sweet, sexy cookie. But when she checked her eggs, she discovered they had long since expired. That sucked, so she set out to buy fresh ones. It was a wet, gray day, and the wipers on her truck weren't quite up to the task. As she turned the corner at the bottom of the hill, Ginger felt a thud. Panicked, she stopped the truck and got out to investigate. To her horror, she saw that she had run over a man, a gingerbread man to be precise. His legs had snapped off. One arm was lying a few feet away, and he was unfortunately missing his head. Where the hell was his head? Ginger looked around and finally spotted it under a bush on the other side of the street. Some of the frosting was smeared on his face, but his little raisin eyes opened and blinked at her a couple times before closing again. She couldn't just leave a busted ginger man in pieces on the street in the rain, so she gathered him up and stashed his body in the cab of her truck. The headless man looked odd, slumped on the seat next to her. The head remained quiet, and the raisin eyes stayed closed. When Ginger returned home, she unloaded the broken man and carried him into her house like she was in the routine habit of transporting headless bodies. The head seemed unaware of its severed state. Ginger placed the pieces on the floor and wondered what to do with them. Her eye fell upon a cardboard box destined for recycling, and it gave her an idea. She mixed up a bunch of frosting, glued the pieces together with it, and used cardboard strips to hold the pieces in place until the frosting set. After she had reattached the head, she noticed the little raisin eyes blinking. The smeared mouth made a noise that sounded like "Fim-foo" before the eyes closed again. Ginger sat on the floor and laid the damaged head in her lap. The cats came to check out the edible guest. They sniffed, licked, and groomed the ginger man. Ginger petted his head, and while she waited for the frosting to set up, she nodded off, dreaming of cloves and vanilla. It was late evening when she woke up. She had fallen asleep leaning against the kitchen cabinet with a giant cookie in her lap. Now she was lying on the floor with a blanket over her, a little pillow under her head, and the cookie was up and walking about the kitchen. It had made itself quite at home and was now making coffee. "Hello there, miss," the cookie man smiled when he saw her sit up. "My name is Doe, and who are you?"